Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you what a week in my consulting life looks like. So today is a holiday and I'm going to fly out to my client site. It is the evening, so I'm going to go ahead and pack first. Then we'll head to the airport, fly out, and then I'll show you what I do. So first thing, I have to pack enough clothes for the week. So I have them all pre-folded, just got to drop them all in the bag. And then take my laptop and other chargers and just drop that into the other bag. And since it's a fly day, I have to take an Uber to the airport. At the airport, I typically get to the terminal earlier, so I like to open my laptop and get a little bit of work done. So now we're going to be boarding the plane, and it's going to take my seat, put the luggage up, and short flight over to my client location. And while on the airplane, I like to listen to music while checking a couple of things, like how the YouTube channel is doing, Amazon, and then if there's any other emails I have to check up on, I'll read those as well. So towards the last leg of that flight, I was sleeping the whole way through. Now I'm here, I've landed, it's time to pick up a rental car, which is one of my favorite parts of traveling. So here's an example of the different kinds of cars that you can choose. Like here's this great Challenger right here, but I usually like to walk all of the aisles to see what's out there. And ultimately, I got this black Escalade, which has this beautiful interior. And for many consultants, this is one of the perks of consulting because you're flying out every week, so you're renting and you're picking up all this status. So for the same price as you would for like a normal car, you could walk into a car like this. And after that, I get to my hotel room, which this is what it looks like for the week. So now that I've checked into the hotel, checked my laptop, checked any outstanding things that I've had to do or anything that my teams had to do, I'm pretty much all good for the night. It's time to set my alarms, just make sure everything's all good in the calendar for tomorrow. And then I'll be heading over to work at the client site. That's it. Okay, it's morning time. I'm all dressed up. I'm ready to go. Gotta have some breakfast first. And then after that, I'll be heading over to the client site. Typically, breakfast looks like this when you're at a hotel. So bacon, sausage, eggs, potatoes, and some fruit. So breakfast is done, and it's time to drive this. And upon arrival at the client site, I set up my laptop and everything I need to, check my calendars to make sure all my appointments are in line, anything I need to book is booked, and then just get to work, which is pretty much just a bunch of calls. Like in the morning, you have your stand-ups, making sure you set all your statuses up, followed by everything else, all the meat of the project. So as the project goes on, things will happen. Just got to make sure you check each of the items off of your statement of work as you're getting through the day, and as you're getting through the week and through the whole project. Alright guys, that pretty much concludes day one at work. So pretty much what happened today is just a lot of calls about a couple different things about what is the design, what is the requirements, how's the development going, and then any issues that were happening, we just quickly get to them right away. I'm gonna head off to dinner first and then get to more work later since I'm traveling, so that's what I'll do. Being a consultant in a new city, it's always imperative that you check it out. I was told that this city had a river that ran through the middle of the city, so I decided to check it out. Like, here it is, and then there are some restaurants that are lining this river. Okay guys, so I've made it back to my hotel, and it's pretty much one fun-filled day. And now that I'm back in my hotel, it's pretty much time to work on those things that I wanted to do. So these priorities that I want to do today, I get to do them now. And now that it's like 9 o'clock, there is another call that I have to do in 1.5 hours. It's called an internal stand-up. And what that is we have some offshore guys that work with us, so we're pretty much trying to work around the clock. And what I have to do is I have to hand off my tasks and status to them, and then in the morning they hand off their tasks and status to me, and then I talk to the client along with them or sometimes without them, and we just pretty much keep the momentum rolling here. So that's pretty much what it is on just the client aspect of what I do. And now there's also the non-client related stuff. So think like internal. You have to do trainings, you have to do reinvestment for the firm. And pretty much what that means is like, for me on the side, I work on some alliance stuff. Sometimes I build like virtual machines or contribute back to the thought leadership. And what I'm doing right now is I have to create like a budget for what our plan is to try to build like a go-to-market type sales solution to be able to sell to our clients in the future. So what that means is I'm going to take some time even after this, aside from my priorities, to make sure we build on that. And that takes some time as well. Aside from that, there's some things from previous clients that bubble up or previous engagements. So I even have to take care of like why some invoices are not being paid, for example. So I have to look back and chase those and make sure that everything's going well there. Aside from that, I just remembered that I still have to generate like a draft invoice for my current client. So then they can go ahead and approve it, and that goes through procurement and gets paid out to us. So definitely quite a lot of things to do. So that pretty much keeps me busy as I'm traveling throughout the week. So that's pretty much what it's like. As I mentioned, I'm going to be hopping on a call in like 1.5 hours, and that's going to close out day one. Alright guys, 10:41 p.m. just finally finished my call with my offshore team members. And I have other team members that are on another call, so I have to hop on that as well and resolve some of the issues that they're facing in their production environment. And at 12:30 a.m. I finally finished all that documentation, and it's time to go to sleep. Alright guys, good morning. It's a new day today, day 2. So what's going to happen today is we got a couple of calls in the morning to stand up and just make sure our clients are informed of what's going on, and then they inform us of things that they've been doing, as well as the offshore. Like I have to catch up on some emails, and I saw that someone got sick and a couple of other things that happened throughout the day. So of course, that's why we have a good plan. We have to plan around these things. So aside from that today, we are going to chase down a proposal as well. So we got off a different client where we were doing some sort of assessment. And now we're trying to see if we can pursue the work to actually implement the security features at that client. So that's another thing that's going to happen today. But first, I got to get some breakfast inside, so I'm going to do that first. So here's some breakfast. It's just the same thing, just a different day. And as I'm eating breakfast, I like to check things like my portfolio and see how that's doing. From there, here's the workspace that I have. So of course, I have a different colored table today, which is pretty cool. Then I go ahead and walk to a different part of the building and then work from there. So I'm just continuing on work, but this time for the different work stream. Of course, as much as possible, I like to drive the cars that I'm driving for the week. So back in the Escalade again and just enjoying it. Guys, just want to give you a midday update of what I've been doing today. So pretty much had to send some invoices, make sure the billings and collections were good for this particular client. Then I went over to different client type of work, which is a proposal, which what we do in Big Four is we have to chase work, win the work to be able to staff people on projects. So given my position, I have to write up the proposal, put it all together, put together a budget, and then pitch it to the client later. So that's one thing that's slated for today, but just got to make sure that that got done. Aside from that, all the existing work. So got to make sure the development was good from the offshore team. Had to check in with the client and make sure that they didn't have any issues, which they had like 2 that they wanted me to resolve. So I went ahead in there and helped them fix some of those issues. So it's lunchtime, guys. Just gonna go eat this Chick-fil-A that I have. So yeah, I got the burger and I got these fries as well. And then it's time to get back to the client side, where I just hop on an escalator, type on the keyboard, get on some calls, hop back on another escalator, and the workday's done. Alright guys, day is over. Just a couple more meetings that I had to do, and these meetings were around how does the system work, what are some things that we can do better, and then some architecture stuff. Towards the end of the day, I totally forgot, but I have like another opportunity that I'm supposed to be chasing, and I had to meet with that person as well to see how was the pitch from last week, because we made a pitch to that person about this new product that we're trying to sell. And so far so good, so I'm hoping that something comes out of it. Of course, it's not going to be this week, but the sales process does take a little bit. So that's pretty much what I did in one day. One thing I'm really into is cars. So after work, I just like to look at cars sometimes, especially if I'm not doing anything else. So I'm literally at CarMax right now, and I'm just checking out some of the cars that they have. Just like this BMW 750i, which is extremely luxurious. And then this Porsche 911 Cabriolet, which is very nice. And then one of my all-time favorites, the E63 AMG S, super fast. And now I'm done with CarMax. After checking out a couple of cars, time to go off to dinner. Alright, dropped off my colleagues at the hotel. right after dinner, so that dinner was pretty long. It's 10:30 now. Hey everybody, it was too dark to film outside, so I'm back in my hotel now. It is 11:27 p.m. So pretty much after I left, I did go to a CarMax dealership just to look at some cars a little bit. Found some ones that I really liked, and I'm working towards some of my goals. Now, aside from that, we organized a dinner for one of our teammates that flew in. Like, even I didn't meet her until tonight. So we put that together, met with them and then the client, and the client was really happy to meet this person. So aside from that, we got out of the dinner pretty late. So it was like 10 o'clock by the time we were finished, and I had to drive my team members back to their hotels, and then after that had to drive myself back to my own hotel so I could jump on this meeting with my offshore team members. And it's time to just freshen up, go to sleep, plan for my day tomorrow, and do all that stuff. Aside from that, I did check into my flight. I'm ready to fly for tomorrow. I just have to pack and everything. So literally all my luggage is down here, and I have to put everything back together. And at 12:40 a.m. this day was finally over. So it's time to go to sleep and wake up for another day. And now it's the start of day 3, guys. Good morning, guys. Had some breakfast, checked on some of my affiliate links like Amazon, checked up on YouTube, replied to some comments, and checked on the Instagram, and then all of my emails from work as well. So I have my luggage now, and I am ready to go to the client side, and then after that, I'm ready to head to the airport. I've left my client side already, and everything that I wanted to do this week has been done. Friday is tomorrow. It is time for me to fly out to the airport now, and I have to drop off this beautiful big Escalade. So it was a fun week, it was a fun trip, and of course, given that I have continuous work to do, I'm probably going to do this all over again in a couple weeks. So it's going to be fun. It's officially the last time I'm going to start up this Escalade. Much it. I have now dropped off the Escalade. I am done with this for the week. It is Thursday evening. It's time for me to get home, fly home, and then just enjoy my Friday working from home. Quick recap of today, it's pretty much just making sure that whatever I wanted to accomplish for the week is done. Tomorrow's Friday, so of course I just want to make sure that going into the weekend that the client is happy, everything else is resolved that should be there, and anything that needed to be prepped for next week is already prepped. So invoices are out and everything like that. So I'm feeling good for this week. That's pretty much what it's like, really. And as part of consulting, if you fly enough, you become like first class and all. But pretty much all of us get to have TSA pre-check, which is pretty good for 5 years, and I highly recommend it. We're back in the airport, well, my home airport, and now I can take an Uber back home. Alright guys, I'm finally back home after the trip. Yeah, so as I said, I left on Monday, and now I'm back here on a Thursday. So tomorrow I could go to the office, I could stay at home and work. So it really depends on what happens. So that's pretty much what it is. Like, that's how the traveling works in consulting. And I just wanted to show you a week in my life. So I hope you guys liked it. Just let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, share. And that's pretty much it. I hope to see you in the next video.